The Transit name is iconic. In fact, Ford use it across their entire LCV range. Transit Courier, Transit Connect, Transit Custom, and the big boy, the Ford Transit. Now this particular one is the L4H3 version, which is the largest in the range. And couple all of that space with the Euro 6 EcoBlue 2-litre diesel engine under the bonnet, and you can see why the Transit is still considered the benchmark in the large van marketplace. Now the Transit is instantly recognisable thanks to this big open grille with those 3 bars going across it, and of course in the middle that big blue oval, and the whole front end is just really nice and functional. You've got 2 big air intakes right here and a nice plastic hard wearing bumper down there. Now the headlights are a personal favourite of mine. I really like how they sweep round to that flick up here. It makes the whole front end look really mean. You've got the big steel wheels, and just look at the size of these wing mirrors. They are absolutely massive, hard-wearing plastic, and just look at the size of that indicator. No one is going to be in any doubt where you're going. So, well, there we go. Nice big functional front end, massive great big windscreen, which is superb for visibility, but more on that later when we take it out on the road. So, no further ado, let's get on in there and have a look at the cabin. Okay, so here we are. First things first, very high driving position, and the driver's seat is very nice and comfortable. It's all hard-wearing fabrics in here and tough, durable plastics. As you can see on the passenger seat, hard-wearing fibres is very much the flavour of the month in here. There's an armrest just down here, which when you push it all the way down, you can pull it up and it will lock in position, so you've got a nice comfortable place to put your arm while you're driving. So when you're driving, steering wheel, as I said, tough plastics, and there's some minimal controls on here. You've got audio on the right hand side and your selector switch down here, which allows you to change what's being shown to you on this little center screen right here in the dashboard next to your speedometer and rev counter. Your fuel gauge is all there as well. Moving across, you've probably noticed this right here. It's quite understated, but the radio, well, it will play songs from the radio, and it also will allow you to connect your phone up to it by Bluetooth, which is great. And speaking of your phone, they've got a little shelf for it right here, so you can pop that there. If your phone doesn't have Bluetooth or you can't get that working, you can actually plug it in to the USB port right here, or if you need to, there's a little bit of storage under here which has an aux cable and a 12-volt socket as well. So you've got plenty of options for connectivity. Moving down, you've got this little slot here, which is actually for your fuel card. Now, initially people get into this and they go, oh, what's that for? But actually it's for your fuel card. Just slides in, very nice and easy, so you won't forget it and it won't fall out of your wallet. Below it are your climate controls, your fan, your temperature, and directional controls as well for the fans and the various vents that are in here. And of course, look, there's your old friend, there's another 12-volt socket right here. So, the first thing I noticed when I got into here, aside from how comfortable the seat was the sheer abundance of storage. Now, this is the base level of trim, but there is a lot of storage. In fact, we've worked out that there's there's probably about 7 places that you can stash a drink. You've got a big cup holder here, cup holder here, you've got the same on that side, so that's 4 now. You've got 1 in the door, that's 5, and with this armrest here, comes down 6 and 7. I mean, it's lovely, and you can put your documents under there. No problem, they'll be held in place by that elastic snap right there. There's even more storage under the seats. You just pull this little toggle here and the seat pops out, and then up you've got access to a nice big storage area down there. Let's have a look at some of the other cubbies. Just on top of here I've already shown you, but in there you've got room for some more stuff. Like I said, there's the aux cable and the 12-volt socket. On top of the radio you've got this kind of big, deep, slidey area, but it's got a nice little bridge over the top of it which will stop things from sliding out if you brake a bit too hard. There's another little cubby up here which has a divider. I'm not sure what you're going to put in there, but I'm sure you'll find something. This cubby over here though, very slidey and actually quite shallow. I think if you put stuff in there while you were driving, some of it might roll out, so it might just be the reserve of when you've stopped and put your sandwich in there or something like that. Underneath there is your big glove box, and that's another place where you could stash a bottle of water if you needed, but they've stuck the user manual, and there's your AdBlue filler funnel right there. On the floor is nice hard-wearing black rubber matting, which I think you've got to give Ford credit for, is their overall build quality. There's no rough edges or anything peeling up, and actually it makes the whole cabin, while a little basic, just nice. It feels nice. Anyway, with everything that we can see in this cabin right here, it's all in order. Let's take it out on the road and go for a drive. Cool. This is a big van, and I like big vans. Something about driving a big van that just makes you feel like the big man in the big van. Yeah, I kind of like that. It's got a good ring to it. But how do I market it? Big vans are like buses. You don't see them for ages, and then suddenly when you're in one, everyone's driving a big van. There's about 4 of them in front of me right now. It's mad. Oh, another Ford Transit just gone past. Slightly higher trim level than this one, but still exactly the same shape. This is the biggest vehicle in the range, the L4H3. Now, you're not necessarily ever going to need a van this big, and in fact, quite a lot of operators tend to go for slightly shorter versions of the Ford Transit, and that's primarily because the weight that you can carry goes down the longer the vehicle gets. Again, it's not a problem, but it just means that, well, with the longer ones you can carry longer loads, with the shorter ones you can carry shorter, heavier loads. You just have to pick the one that works for you. So here we go up that hill that I like to test the vans on. I'm in 3rd gear, my foot's at a steady position. There's no drop in power whatsoever. Let's see what happens when I go to 4th. I can feel power drop just slightly, but as the revs climb, I get another little surge of power. And again, that's just testament to the 2-litre EcoBlue engine. At the lower level in things like the Connect, they've got the 1.5-litre EcoBlue engine, but at this level and the Transit Custom, they stick the 2-litre EcoBlue engine that has really proved itself. Low running costs combined with a lot of power to mean that you can haul loads of weight a long distance and you still get good miles per gallon. You still get a good return on that investment. That's what's really good about Ford's big engine. It works, it's Euro 6 standard, and it means you can haul massive loads without having to uprate the engine that much. In fact, the 2-litre EcoBlue engine is so good that a bi-turbo version of it has been put into their new performance pickup truck, the Ranger Raptor. I mean, that tells you everything you need to know about it. It's an incredibly versatile platform, and even at those higher levels will absolutely return the investment. Your running costs are going to be absolutely where you want them. I always make sure to give Ford a lot of credit for their interiors. The fact that there are 8 cup holders in here is one thing, but the fact that the cup holder that I need to access most readily, this one over here, is just at arm's reach. Perfect. A little bit of free advertising for Costa there, you're welcome. The driving position is so high that the visibility on the road is absolutely superb. I can see everything that's coming up ahead. It's really good. You just feel in control. It's like I said before, driving a big van just makes you feel like the big man. I just feel like I'm having a great time. There's something quite pure about the Ford Transit. You know, it's not filled with bells and whistles. It's not trying to pretend to be anything it's not. It's not packed with technology. It's simply a pure large van. Big loads, long distances. That is where it excels. Okay, so the only time I felt a little bit nervous driving this vehicle is right now. We're on quite a nice country road, but it is a bit bumpy. As you can see, there's a lot of movement in the cabin up here. My drink, thankfully, is staying exactly where it is, but I feel a little bit wobbly, just a little bit wobbly. And that's probably because I'm not driving with a full load, so, you know, the suspension has got a bit of give in it. But actually, as soon as I get back onto smooth road, I feel in control again. Here we go. There we go. Some nice smooth tarmac. That was a great drive. There is literally nothing better than driving a large van. But with a large van comes a large loading bay. And that is nowhere more obvious than with these humongous back doors that are almost 2 meters high. Open them up, and they open up to their standard 90 degrees. And if you flick the catch, they open up to around 250 degrees and quite nicely are stopped from smacking the outside of the van by magnets on the back. Now, 1.9 meters high, and you've got a width of 1.5 meters right here. Now, as you can see, the loading bay is absolutely massive. At its widest point, it is 1.8 meters wide. That thins slightly to 1.4 between the arches, but that's perfect for getting a pallet in. And there's no loading lip, so sliding things in and out is absolutely easy. Now, let's have a look round the side at the side door. Now here we are. This is 1.3 meters wide and 1.6 meters high. Again, it's perfect for sliding pallets in from the side, and it's high enough that you'll be able to get in absolutely no problem. Now I want to show you the rest of the loading bay, so you are going to have to shift. So this loading bay is 2 meters high and at the longest length 4 meters long. Now the longer a van gets, you usually have to make some compromises on payload, and this particular version can carry 1100 kilograms. But if you go a little bit shorter, which is what a lot of our customers do, your payload will increase to up to 1400 kilograms. Now that is very competitive in the large van sector. And speaking of the large van sector, let's take a look at some of the other vehicles available right now. First up, the Peugeot Boxer and the Citroën Relay. These two are essentially the same van, and that's not a bad thing. They're big, robust workhorse vans available at great prices. That sounds good to me. Next, the Fiat Ducato. It's the same platform as the Boxer and the Relay, but with a different engine, so it's a new van, right? Well, yeah, basically. The Nissan NV400, Renault Master and Vauxhall Movano, well, this pack of relatives share the same engines and the same platform. And in the large van marketplace, they have some of the best cabins you'll find. The VW Crafter. The payload isn't enormous and neither is its fuel economy, but it's very user-friendly, which is what it deservedly receives rave reviews for. And finally, the Mercedes-Benz Sprinter. If the Ford Transit had a nemesis, this is the van it's always sparring with for the top spot. The Sprinter is absolutely packed with tech and a bit of luxury. That's a powerful combination. So there you go. As you can see, the Ford Transit has some healthy competition, but that 2-litre EcoBlue diesel engine and the running cost that it gives you, well, that just keeps it in contention the whole way. So how do we finish this? Well, as I said at the beginning, the Ford Transit is a benchmark in the large van category. But Ford have never rested on their laurels. They've kept the Transit up to date even as its LCV offering grows. At its heart is that Euro 6 2-litre EcoBlue diesel engine that not only returns a ton of power, but also returns great economy too. That it still looks this good after this many years and this many updates tells you everything you need to know about making the Ford Transit your choice in the large panel van sector. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to the Vanarama YouTube channel, and if you want to check out more videos about this vehicle, click the links.